Hey, we are literally just going live here on Facebook, so if you want to pop in, you can, or if you want to heckle.
Bullshit. Last week you were in Nashville. You must not watch because we talked trash on you.
I did not.
We totally talk trash on you.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Like bitches in Nashville.
We were annoyed that you were in Nashville,
Mm-hmm.
so we brought it up a couple of times.
We did. I mean, it's FOMO, and whatever. But
Sure.
We can own it.
just to be honest,
Happy Friday, everybody.
we're go, huh? We're live?
Yeah, we're here.
They think we're just talking to like somebody in the kitchen. They don't know who.
I actually bet it looks like we are professionals.
My humble.
I think it's pretty clear we know what we're doing.
Is she gonna just sit there and watch us
She-
all the time?
She is.
Make me
Freshly
cute.
back from Nashville. Are you dried out?
No.
No, still?
Still.
Damn.
Is that just because you're older now, or was that is that indicative of the level of fun we had?
No comment.
Both.
I mean, it's got to be both, right?
But the shit's probably gonna continue every week.
Yes.
For me, I'm the
No,
best.
no, 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 no.
Oh, no, this just is a lucky happenstance. I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of times we make fun of each other,
Perfect.
but wherever the conversation goes,
Yeah.
we talk
We're
shit.
back. Friday afternoon. The title is just some talk about some things. So we live up to that title pretty good.
We're trending. It's a thing. We're very popular, and we're gonna see if we can make money off.
We
this.
had 4 viewers last week, so the goal is 5, and I'm gonna count you. So
I count as a viewer.
You're
And I didn't watch last week, so already
Oh,
we've
we're
reached
up. If we get all 4 returning, so for 4th of July was you were away. What did you do for your 4th? Short week this week.
Yeah, we went out on the boat. Sue and Thomas worked during the day, and then we went out to watch the fireworks. I enjoy that, although a
Does
little
boating
nerve
stress
wracking.
you out?
Does that?
Boating stresses me out.
It does not stress me
No.
out. It's how do I say it? I don't think the average boater actually knows what they're doing out there, and they're probably drinking.
How does
And
that
that
not
makes
stress
me
you out?
that makes me well, it doesn't stress me out.
because I'm also drinking.
Yeah. Fair.
No, not at night especially. Not I don't mess around with 4th of July.
Yeah, right.
So my preference would be to go back upriver and go out to Warwick, but we did that once, and so many boats flew past us that I know did not have sonar or whatever you would have on a
Yeah.
boat that would, because GPS isn't going to tell you where people are. I saw a kayaker in the river at night, like I'm like, huh? So like Thomas is up on the bow with the spotlight, and so I agreed with Sue. That was a little nerve-wracking. So it's well lit. The ramp by the hospital is very well lit. So, and you just trim over there. You don't go fast. Everybody that's going that way doesn't go fast. And you can see them hammering like under the bridge. And I'm like, by crazy people that have been, because some people have been out all day.
Yeah.
So,
Son.
but it was
You
fun.
had a surprise boat ride on Monday.
Yeah, so we were not planning on boating again on Monday, but SOS
We
signal
invited
came.
you out
Yeah, SOS
and
signal came.
invited you to bring your rope.
It was, I get the phone. Kara's like, hey, what you doing? It's like, I'm figuring, I don't know where this is going to
Let's
go. But
chat.
I was like, just chilling on the sofa. So,
Yeah.
we're the boat broke down.
That's the second time. I know. We're thinking fuel line. We were up at the inlet that
Right,
goes.
Warwick.
Yeah.
Oh,
what
sorry.
is that waterway called?
Warwick.
The
Warwick.
Warwick. Is the Warwick River?
The one that comes out of Secretary.
Yeah.
So we got out quick, but then I wasn't thinking we should have packed food, beer. I don't know what else because we had time.
Well, because it's a legit boat ride.
Legit at 6 miles an hour.
I didn't miss out on anything. I just got towed back instead of was in a boat that had power. But I was just sitting in the front of the boat. I mean, it didn't ruin my day at all.
Didn't change much. I think Joel was taking care of emails.
I think
So
it was working.
It was working.
And we had our Sherpas in the front driving us back home.
It was like an hour to an hour and a half tow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a long tow.
Yeah.
You
And
didn't
then-
bring anything.
No, well I was like, we gotta get to him, For some reason I felt
remember how long
urgent.
this takes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, we gotta get
Back
to them.
cooler.
They're broke down. So we're like, bang, we grabbed the bag that has like the key and the emergency stuff, but we didn't think about drinks or anything.
Yeah.
And then I started towing them, and I'm doing 5 miles an hour, and I'm like,
It's gonna take forever.
definitely didn't pack enough.
Oh, poor planning.
Didn't pack enough for
We
this
were
trip.
so
That was a business
appreciative.
venture.
Well, we already have a plan next time you need towed. We know how we're gonna tie up a little different.
We are.
We're gonna tie up a little different. We're gonna have drinks with us.
Okay.
I may go from boat to boat while Sue drives.
Yes.
I don't know.
I know, we could have definitely turned that into a better
So.
opportunity.
Yeah.
We'll learn.
I was glad we could help.
And then the other thing that we were gonna do this week is we were gonna have a garden party last night for Sue.
We were.
Elsa ruined our plans, but we ended up having dinner, which was fun.
Almost had a fire, but we didn't have a fire because it was not a good idea to have a fire.
There was a lot of discussion about that.
Yeah.
I really wanted a fire, but the wind is kind of like the water if you're a boat captain when you're building a fire.
Yeah.
She's in control at all times.
Yeah.
So we didn't.
But we had a good time.
We did. Are we
Some
talking about
maybe a little more than others.
why? So that's actually, I came to class this morning.
You did. I was proud of
I
you.
was a trooper this
I was
morning.
proud of you. I thought about you when I woke up. I was like, I'm so glad I was the DD.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It was
I,
fun.
we had a good
We
time.
had a good time.
Joel made us Indian food. I know, paneer. And you didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it. Like Run Club for most people, I didn't like it, but I didn't hate it. And the veggie meatballs were from IKEA. Go figure. And they were banging.
Yes, and they came recommended to him by somebody.
They were banging.
But
Veggie
home-
meatballs, IKEA.
Homemade paneer.
And what was the joke about you had to put the meatball together because it's IKEA? Was there a manual or something?
I don't know.
With some sort of,
There
there was a
was
joke
some
there.
joke in there, like some assembly required. The meatball from IKEA is actually just a recipe.
And a couple bolts that you're not sure why you have them left over after you're
You
done.
definitely don't need it.
Damn it!
And an Allen wrench,
Was
obviously.
I supposed to use these?
Yeah,
Just pictures
very articulate
Correct.
pictures. Yeah.
Mhm.
So what's your feedback of Run Club? Also in the Run Like the Wind, we talked about it a little bit.
though. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
everybody loves it.
And
We
didn't
can't
think
figure out
I
why
would
it's
love
so
it.
weird. I know.
But I just feel like this, I
We
know.
have no faith in
I'm
you.
like,
We're like, this is so weird. He's like crushing it. I don't get it.
I'm gonna pay him money to do something I hate to do
I know.
and see if I think it's fun. Let's go.
Why? Why do we love it? It makes us
Pushing
get
outside
uncomfortable.
of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Because I was telling Coach Chris yesterday, so I did the 4:45 class pre-run club on Wednesday. And I wear an Apple Watch when I work out, and I look at my heart rate when I start to feel like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
And I looked at and it's usually like around 179 is about where I'm like tapping out. And during Run Club, I got up to like 183. And then in yesterday's workout, which was EMOM
Lots of loops.
of 15 double unders, 5
Oh,
thrusters.
yesterday's workout, yes.
I felt like I got up there and I kept going. So it was just speaking to
Yes.
that interval training, and you get to a place where you're uncomfortable, but I know it's only going to be for a section or 30 seconds or something. So I'm like, there's this finite amount of time where I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Versus if you're like running a 400 and you're like, this is uncomfortable always if you're sprinting
Right.
it.
Yeah.
You know?
Correct.
Like it
Correct.
just, these short bursts, I
Yeah.
think, train you to then, I look at my watch, I'm like 179, I could do 183. I did that before,
Yeah,
you know?
I agree.
So,
Interesting.
Casey and I always find ourselves on the same corner, no matter where we start.
No pun intended. No joke there. You know what I mean? I'm saying.
I'm not gonna take that one out of context.
So we have like 20 or so people doing running.
We do.
And one of the things that you've done really well is give all kinds of different options that give the same stimulus to people that are at different running capabilities. In CrossFit, one might call that scaling.
Is that our word of the
But that
day?
brings us to the word of the day.
That was nice. That segue was like spot on.
Yeah. I still have no graphics, but I mean,
It's coming.
I eased right in.
Once the funding starts flowing,
That's right.
this is gonna get high tech back here.
6 viewers.
Who's our,
gonna be-
who's our sponsor?
We don't have that yet.
Oh, okay. Where's the money coming?
Heirloom Athletics.
Also sold in the fridge, guys.
There you go. There you go. Good
$2
luck.
a pop.
Yeah.
But yeah, scaling. Yes.
So how would you define or describe scaling to somebody that doesn't know what the word scaling means in terms of CrossFit?
Adjusting either or weight, movement, number of reps, even intensity
Mhm.
in order to fit your fitness and your goals.
That's a good definition.
Because I think a lot of members, when they hear scale, think just movement.
I agree.
And a lot of times, and my joke is, it's written in chalk
Hmm.
when I give the workout. It's not written in stone. So like, just because it says 10 double unders does not mean you have to do 10 double unders.
Right.
Because as we said last week, we don't really care what you're doing,
Right.
right? It's your workout.
Yeah.
So, I see members sometimes that they know about scaling either a movement because they're limited in that movement, or they know that they're going to scale because the weight is heavy. But I think a lot of members don't think to scale the rep.
Agreed. Yep.
And that's where you could challenge the weight
Yep. Or challenge the
or
movement.
challenge the
Do
movement.
less reps of it at something
Yep.
that's harder. One thing that I did yesterday too that I realized I don't articulate to people, but I feel like I do a lot, especially as I'm coming back from figuring out what's going on with like my neck and shoulder and thrusters have been really bothering it, is for that workout yesterday that was an EMOM, the double unders and the dumbbell thrusters, I alternated rounds. So the first round I used 20-pound dumbbells, the second round I used 25-pound dumbbells, third I went back to the 20 to the 25 because it seemed to, it like made sense in my head. And then I think Kelly was like, oh, that's so smart. I think that would work for people that are just getting started and that are like, I feel like I'm always doing the 10-pound dumbbells. It's like, well, then grab the 12 and maybe you do 2 sets with the 10 and 1 with the 12. Or half of the reps, and like ease your way into it. You don't even have to do the whole workout.
Right.
For if you're trying to get into pull-ups and you want to get that banded pull-up, but sometimes it's really hard to gauge where you want that band, and so then you just never do. Get it set up and do the first 3 pull-up reps every round with the band, and then finish it out with ring rows or something like dip your toe in the water of something that might be something that you haven't tried before.
And you brought up how the way you think through a workout, how I was like, oh, that must have sucked doing the 20s to then know, oh, I got it. The next round I have to do 25s, where you actually worked the other way.
It was totally like,
game-changer.
it was a game changer because every round in the middle of the 25s, what got me through was knowing that the 20s were coming next round.
It's the other way.
It was like, I don't have to do this again.
Right.
And it was how many, 15 rounds, but every time I did one with the heavier, I was like, okay, I only have to do this one 6 more times. So it also then like cut the rounds mentally in half of what I was doing. Because it wasn't like the 20s were easy, but compared to the 25s, it was like the break round.
So that would be great for a member that not only is challenging the weight, but the psychology is positive about challenging.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Well, we got talking about this week because did you hear that CrossFit is coming out with programming, CrossFit
I did.
affiliate programming?
Yes.
So they bought Handplan, and it's Austin Maliolo and Spencer Hendel and James Hobart.
Yeah.
And so they do a workout of the day on .com that's free now, and basically it's going to be that, from what I understand, but with like accessories that come with it, like a lesson plan or like suggested warm up, intense, and like the desired intent of the workout. But the thing that we got talking about is that's really hard to do if you're not in this gym. Like, I don't think the magic is in the programming. I think the magic is in the scaling of the programming, because nobody's going to provide exactly the right thing that works for every single person. So even beyond all of that, I think it still comes down to us as coaches at the head of the class, really helping each member make that decision that gets them the result that we're looking for in the workout that day. And that's different every day. Like, we're We're all doing something a little bit different.
Even the same member on different days.
Totally.
You know?
Yep.
Well, coming back from vacation,
Yeah.
right? Like I had been a week without exercising. So approaching those workouts, choosing the weights for those workouts, you know, just giving yourself a little bit of grace that
Yes.
like, I'm not where I was last week when I had worked out for 5 consecutive days.
Yeah.
So it's okay to, in this workout, I might normally choose this weight or this movement, but today I'm going to choose this. And
Yeah.
I'll still feel relatively like I got that same relative intensity because I'm working my way back.
And it's always better than the alternative of doing nothing, right? Like on a morning like this morning where it's like easy to be like, I'll just take the day off. It's like, I know I committed to come to class, made no other promises to myself about what I was actually going to do in the workout. Elevated target burpees were an option. Step ups were an option. Like it was all like, we're just going to feel this out. Because I also don't need to bust my face on a box if I'm not feeling 100%.
Right.
Like, but if I get the work in, I'm still getting the work in. I might not be getting the intensity, but I'm moving my body.
Right.
It's always going to be better than the alternative. And I think it's easy to overanalyze what you're going to do in the workout, but if you just commit to coming, then it doesn't really matter.
Correct. We talk about it at Run Club. I talked
Yes.
about it this morning with Danielle. I don't know why, she just didn't have a great morning. She's like, I just forced myself to come.
Yeah,
And then just kicked the shit out of the workout. She crushed it, you know,
Yeah.
because once you're in it, you're just like, okay. So yeah, I'd say that all the time. Just show up, show
Yeah.
up, move, just move. But when we did the stickers, my sticker was just keep moving,
yes.
right? Just keep moving,
Yeah,
just keep moving.
Mhm.
Whatever
use
that
that
is,
hashtag a lot.
just keep moving.
So you mentioned Danielle commented something. I have another comment that I was going to discuss with you today.
Hmm.
It's not that one.
It's not that one throwing you a curveball.
No.
Not that we practiced this beforehand, everybody.
Well, no, it's not the one that you just mentioned about
Oh.
Danielle because we've already used her
Mhm.
name. This one, anonymous. It's
Anonymous.
This is a Facebook message that I got from a member at like, I want to say like 8:30 at night, one night. And she said, I just got home from talking to another member in the Heirloom parking lot. My school job, my church life, and Heirloom are 3 major pillars in my life. During grief, you realize what things hold you up. And then it was very quickly followed with, marriage, of course, is a big pillar. Which is hilarious because, yes, like I think you kind of assume that like family is included in there. And then she went on to just be really aware and say, and then I think about how a lot of people don't have any of those pillars that are so life-giving. So my thought, one, like just like feel that for a second because it's such an honor to have somebody think of us in that way.
Amazing.
And then if you were to identify a couple of your main pillars, is that something that's easy? You know, it kind of reminded me of that quote that like you are the average or the sum of the 5 people or the 4 people that you spend the most time with. Because she references like things, jobs and church,
Right.
but like, can people be those pillars? Because I like obviously I think I would have to say Heirloom is one, but I would have to almost want to say Team Heirloom is its own.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I rely on you guys in a very different way than I do members or community members.
Sue should be our own category.
For all
Sue's
of
our
us.
own pillar.
For
Sue
everybody.
is
Sue's a
our
pillar.
trunk.
She's the trunk of the oak tree.
She's the cornerstone.
Bless her. Woo, that woman. And that's not because I'm married to her. I
Right.
just have seen it, right? She's
Yeah.
behind the scenes, but I'm there behind the scenes watching. I mean, that would be a
Yes.
fun, like, your text conversations with her.
I know.
I mean, like, the amount of communication between
Yeah.
the two. But yeah, I like thinking of it. For me, when you ask me that, I think more about the people that I feel support me or that I feel are my pillars. So, and this has become that. This is huge
Yeah.
in my life. Like, and I kind of like being, my journey in deciding to coach is an interesting one, but like being a coach here and what that has made me do as far as like really reaching out to all the members, where I used to be very kind of inclusive.
Yeah.
And like I knew my people at Fivefold, and I looked for my people at Fivefold, and I worked out with my people at Fivefold. But now it's like Heirloom's my people. Like I want to know all the members. So when somebody new joins and then I'm coaching, as soon as they walk in, I'm like, well, I don't know you. Who are you? You're in the tribe. I need to know your name.
Yeah.
I need to know. So without a
I love
doubt,
that.
and for me, my family's pretty close, although batshit crazy. But I do love the hell out of my family. And when we get together, it's always epic. We're having a family vacation that we've not done in a long, long, long time with all of my siblings and my parents, which I'm really had missed. I just hadn't realized how much we had gotten away from that. That's something we did growing up, and then we just, we never intentionally got a place where we were all going to be together. And I think that's going to be epic. And my students, and specifically my cross country team, when I'm with them, I often joke with them that I don't really like adults. I'd rather just hang out with high school students, which isn't necessarily true, but I do just have fun with them. They're just fun. Not all the students in high school, but my team and some of my students that I get to teach, the ones that I get to actually create relationships with, right?
Yeah.
So that random kid walking down the hall that says nice things to me, whatever. He doesn't know me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would think those three come to mind. Key groups or pillars that kind of make me.
Do you feel like being put on the spot about your pillars, Casey?
I feel like mine are not creative, but I will lump family as one.
Yeah.
But certainly Jason as a huge component of that. And when I think of pillars, I think of people that hold you up, but also people that like feed your energy, like people that provide for you, and there's that reciprocating, like I give to it and it gives back to me.
Yeah.
And I really do cherish, I have some of my best friends are also our family members, and so spending time with them and putting effort into that relationship is super important. And then work for me, which is like the outlet, but like kind of where I feel like my purpose, like what I want to contribute to the world is where I put work, because it's all about like helping others and helping others sort of become better versions of themselves. But then that led into Heirloom.
Yeah.
And Heirloom has helped me become a better version of myself because it's an outlet for me, right? I can have some me time. I can, re-energize and be a better mom and a better wife and a better friend because I have that time. But then as a coach, then I can sort of give back to that community.
Yeah.
So it's all three of those things are things that I think my pillars are all these like reciprocating relationships that like it would not work if it was I'm giving and not receiving.
Right.
So that's how I would define.
Yeah.
You said here in the team, anything else?
Yeah, I spent a lot of time thinking about it, and I'm not sure that there's. So mine was like an intangible. Like I don't know that it's as like, I think Heirloom, I think Team Heirloom, for all of the same reasons like that we have talked about. I also think like maybe a cornerstone is a better word. And what when you think of your definition of pillar, and what I was thinking was like things that hold you up, but then also that just necessary components of your life that make you feel fulfilled. And so I like walking the dogs, some sort of just quiet time. And that for me that's always like a good purpose. It's like, it gives me a reason to need to take like downtime and not do anything. And I was even just talking to friends today about, I found myself more and more just walking in silence. Like I go through stages of like, you're listening to a lot of podcasts or listening to audiobooks or like listening to the radio, and it's almost like taking all things in, and that there's something really nice just about almost letting your mind race. Like I have defined paths that I go on this walk, and so I don't have to really think about where I'm going. And so I can kind of just let the mind wander, and I think that is important for me to feel, I don't know, like I can move forward and like continue progressing. I don't know if that's a pillar or what that is, but
I would say it's definitely. I mean, think about your life if that's not happening, right?
but like movement, like I just keep, you know, when you, it's almost whatever is that theory that you see what it is that you're looking for. But I feel like I saw something about movement being the number one thing that people who have suffered from like depression or some sort of addiction lists as their one deal breaker of like maintaining their sobriety or maintaining that level of happiness in their life is they need to stay consistent with the exercise. And I kind of feel like that's almost a pillar in and of itself of just like owning that and recognizing that. And like, honestly, the reason why I came today, right? Like, it's like I am the person that comes to gym and then whatever.
Right.
Anyway,
Yeah. No, I like it.
I thought it was a really sweet message.
Without a doubt. Well, and definitely a goal. I mean, like when we hear things like that, when people say things, when people are complimentive about the relationships and not, so glad we got more barbells, or
Right.
you guys really have a lot of rig space.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
like that's.
I literally get excited like when I go to reserve my spot in class and I get to see who else is in class. It's like I get to go spend an hour with these people.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I love that. The other day, I forget if we were picking on Thomas or whoever, and I was like, well, this is what happens when you are a member of a community and not just a gym. Like, you know, you pick on your own, have some fun, you throw your jabs, you know, like, it's, you don't get that at other places.
We like to
That's,
pick on them.
well, especially here.
He's easy to pick on.
Easy. Easy, yeah. I blame his parents, but, you know,
He definitely was not raised right.
it's not
For
really
sure.
And unfortunately, 17, there's not much or damage control right now. Just damage control.
All right, so we have some upcoming events.
Yes, we do.
What do you, how would you describe the field day? You weren't at field day.
I wasn't there, so I had FOMO last year so bad because I was with my siblings, which I know I just said that we're having a family vacation, but siblings weekend last year was a little. Jen wasn't there, and there were some other things at play and whatever. But I was so jelly that I couldn't go. So, and I was pretty much banking we weren't making it again this year. July can be a tricky month for us. When I saw that date, hot dog. So I don't know. I've heard great stories.
How would you describe field day?
Adult physics, outside, and drinks. Pool party. I mean, it really is field day. Like the favorite part of elementary school when there were like team captains and you had teams and like you had a shirt and like your parents came. It's that. But it's 100% that.
Yeah.
But shorter, less pressure.
Way less pressure.
Way
Is
less
there any
pressure.
pressure? No.
I mean, have you met the 445 class?
Yeah.
Because they also attend field day.
Okay.
They're just a smidge competitive.
Just a smidge.
I
They
say,
are.
I say that as a member.
Right.
I was gonna say you're a card carrying
I'm
member.
only here now because I'm waiting for 4:30
Yeah,
to
what time
start.
is class?
It's
It's 4 or
4:05.
5.
Okay.
So yeah, it can be. Some people can like get competitive, but like it's all really just super fun and. Everyone's like, all right, can we finish these events and get to the pool party? It's like the pool party is the cherry on top.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
It'll be exciting. We do 3 events. It's inclusive for all. So we have a member who's like 6 months pregnant who's going to do it. We have a member who doesn't run. So.
How many total do we have coming? Ish, ballpark.
26.
Is Joel bringing the large hot dogs?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Because I forgot to mention that that's also part of field day. They're the best hot dogs I've ever had in my life.
So I think I'm going to be a little bit more particular with the food sign up.
Good idea.
And just put some specifics on there, because I feel like we just had so much leftover and carryover of stuff that I could probably delegate more of like the buns and condiments and things to the people that aren't cookers, that just want to bring something.
Jody Garvin.
Jody Garvin. But also don't forget the Doritos and the chips. I think we're up to 4.
Oh, no.
That with Casey,
It's 5.
that's 5.
Killing it.
Oh, we have messages.
Yes, messages.
I'm still scarred from Kathy Abbott describing the seed bags as goat balls. That's Allison about field day last year.
Kathy Abbott, she described some things.
We hear you, Allison. She's coming back this year, so
She's hilarious. Kathy Abbott.
I feel like I'm gonna feel like a total downer right now, but so Allison and Pam just lost their dog.
Yeah.
I feel like we have had a extraordinary amount of loss this year. Cara just lost her father, her sister, and father, Anne's father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, and rightfully so to acknowledge that, but we got a baby Roach, we got a baby Thompson.
Baby Thompson and
And-
Baby Witten and Baby Witten. TJ became a dad on the 4th, and Jordan had their second on the 5th.
And
Yeah.
Mama Bartley, Mama Bartley on the way.
Bartley's on the way. The circle of
So
life,
that's
I guess.
the yin and yang of life, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And,
I really wanted Casey's water to break here. She knows. that.
oh, I wanted
It
it
didn't
bad.
happen.
I can't disagree.
The day she came after her
I
due date, I
did.
was like, it's.
It's go time.
Hey,
That story would be epic.
you would have been my first call, you know, like
I
you
would've
would,
been
you
here.
would knock.
I would have been like,
Girl,
there goes my workout.
Casey, we're having a baby.
I just wanted it for the story. I would have been no help whatsoever. I just would have liked telling the story later.
Oh, yeah,
This
yes,
time,
exactly.
the member water broke during the workout.
We can still make that a story. It's like a legend for all the drop-ins. Hey, if you do thrusters in this week, your water might break. So
By the
hold your
way,
horses.
if you're pregnant, don't work out in that corner because that's where the water broke.
That's where it burned.
That's where it
That's why it's still wet.
broke. That was pretty horrible.
That's.
She's
This is G-rated.
she's got people fooled if you think that. Come on now.
We're also gonna have movie night, Buttery Bros, Resurgence.
Is that the same night as fight night? Fight night, is that happening?
No,
You can't come.
Fight Night is the same night as Iron Man,
Yes.
which I had a fun idea. September 18th.
September 18th.
Yeah.
Or, no, because the 24th is camping. Right?
24th is campaign.
Okay.
This is all when I disappear. I say bye to everybody. See you in November. Cross country season. I'll see my 5:30 peeps for working out. But other than that, no coaching. And then, but I might slide in on your barn fit.
I think he's gonna take over Remember the Farm.
I can't like totally just walk away from coaching.
You know, when he gives me back my 3 9 hands.
That's right. And that's a fair trade. It's a
Is
fair
that,
trade.
is that,
No,
is that bad at all?
not at all. Not at all. But
I'm enjoying my summer of attending class at 9 a.m.
Right.
Not gonna lie,
right now, you're in the sweet spot of coaching.
I am. I am. My summer vacation. I know.
Sue's here also. Everybody, she's
That's sick.
behind the curtain.
Right.
We're at 6.
I mean,
Well, we had 4, 5, 6.
Oh, yeah. You do count as a person. We're at 6.
he had to think about that for a second. He wasn't sure at first.
My pillar over here. I was thinking of her as an inanimate object. She's my pillar.
Cut him off now.
Thank you.
I think we're done on that note. I think we've said all the things we can say.
Well, everybody bring a friend next week. We'll have 12 people. There, she got lots.
I was like,
Not here.
I missed that
I
coach
missed
email.
that
At
announcement.
some point, it's going to be all of the members and us, and nobody's watching. It's just all of us. Everybody's in the kitchen. We're 20-some people deep.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway, happy Friday,
Happy
everybody.
Friday, everybody. Oh, that's funny.
Hi.
There.
Just run well.
We did.
Oh,